Hi guys, I said in my last video that I was going to start doing questions that I get asked most with cystic fibrosis. This video is probably going to seem a little bit dark, but I want you to take a bit of positivity out of it. I've tried putting across positivity. I've just filmed it and I've rambled on quite a bit, but I do eventually get to the answer in the end. The question I get asked most is, are you scared of dying young with cystic fibrosis? Questions kind of go like, are you not worried about dying? Does it scare you dying? Don't you want to do something fantastic before you die? Why are you wasting your time in work? So that's the kind of questions I get asked quite a bit. I should imagine most people with cystic fibrosis get asked this. Most people with a lot of conditions, terminal conditions or serious illnesses probably get asked this. So I've just tried to answer it from my point of view. So when you're a child with cystic fibrosis, from a very early age, you're kind of drilled on the fact that you might die young, and you kind of know all the complications of cystic fibrosis, because while it's not massively known about and there should be more awareness, and there always can be more awareness for it, and doctors now quite advanced and they know exactly what the condition does to your body. So from a very young age, they kind of hit home to you that it's a very serious condition and there is potential to die young. To be honest, when you're younger, you don't really take it on board. You're kind of just another kid. It's more when you get to adult ages, so teenage, where it starts to kind of kick in and you kind of realise, hang on a second, I might not get to do everything in life that I want to, or everything that other people are doing. And there is a period, I had a period where that was quite difficult to swallow, and I was kind of on the fence of what I wanted to do, because did I want to be a doctor and spend 6 or 7 years of my life studying just to, and this might be a bit of a strong opinion, but just to die anyway. And there's also things like, as you're growing older, you're thinking, oh, do I want to go into a pension because I might just pay all my money and never see it. So there's quite a few things that start to play in your mind when you think about dying at a young age. But you have to kind of look past that. You have to kind of work with that, because if you're just scared of dying throughout your whole life, then you're not really living, are you? You're not doing anything. If cystic fibrosis controls your mind, like it controls your body, then you wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. You wouldn't have anything to live for anyway. Myself, what gets me through the day is going to work like everyone else, being tired like everyone else, struggling, moaning about pay, moaning about my boss. Just in case you're watching this, I don't moan about you. Doing all the stuff that normal people do really keeps me going throughout the day. At the moment, I'm 31 and my body's really strong. It sounds weird saying that, but I go to the gym and I've always kept very active to make sure that my body is fighting cystic fibrosis quite well. And at 31, I'm in quite a good position. And I'm really thankful for that. When it comes to being worried about dying, it can happen to anyone at any time with cystic fibrosis. Without cystic fibrosis, I could get it by bus tomorrow, you could get it by bus tomorrow, I could still get cancer, I could still get anything. But at this very moment, I'm just happy and I'm just living my life. I haven't got that immediate threat of cystic fibrosis killing me. It could go downhill, don't get me wrong, because it can go downhill very fast, and every other week I've got a lump in my throat because I hear about someone that I talk to online dying, or someone that I've heard of through groups, cystic fibrosis groups that I've been talking to, or I've commented on a post or something. You hear about people dying all the time, and it makes me feel obviously bad for them, and it makes me feel a bit privileged that at the age I'm at, I'm still living a good and healthy life, and it's not affecting me too much. I feel like it'd be disrespectful for me to sit here and mope when the stronger people who have lived and died with cystic fibrosis at an earlier age than me, an older age than me, I think it'd do them a bit of a disservice for me to sit there and mope about it when I'm in a pretty good position. I feel like your mind's a massive part of it. Cystic fibrosis will always win against your body. I'm not going to sit here and go, I'm Superman, I've got muscles and cystic fibrosis is never going to beat me, because at the end of the day, you know it is. you know it is from an early age. The best I try and do is be like everyone else, and that for me is my benchmark. I love to be like everyone else. I love to be in the same shitty job. I love to be tired, like I said, and it all goes towards me feeling good about myself. I don't want to climb Mount Everest. I don't want to go and do this, that and the other. I don't want to change the world. Well, I want to get more awareness for cystic fibrosis, but as far as doing something completely amazingly special goes, for me, special is going to work every day. And that sounds probably to someone else who works every day, who hasn't maybe got a condition, it probably sounds like bullshit, or that I'm saying it for the sake of it. But to me, being strong is being the same as everyone else. In terms of, so there might come a time when I'm not as strong as everyone else, and yeah, I have to give up work, I have to stop, and at that point I will, because anything to keep me strong is what I'll do. So if I need to stop working and I need to start concentrating on maybe trying to go to the gym once a week, maybe I might not manage to go to the gym, whatever keeps me healthy is something that I'll have to do. So if I have to sacrifice things, I have to sacrifice things. What I'm happy about is, for all these years I've had a perfectly normal life. Obviously I've been in hospital and I'm on treatments and everything like that, but I've quite largely been able to do what I want to do. It hasn't really held me back. So I feel like I'm living the best life I can do, and I've been living it for 31 years now. So if tomorrow it stopped, I'd always be thankful that I had the 31 years of pure excitement and enjoyment. Really, like I said, it comes back to mindset. I think you need to keep your mind strong. I've had to keep my mind strong for many, many years, and I'll keep my mind strong until the day that cystic fibrosis does get me. I'll give it hell before it gets me, but it will do. And it's kind of the way you stop yourself being scared, I think, and this might go for other people as well with cystic fibrosis, cancer or anything like that, is you have to make peace with it. And if you make peace with it, you can actually start to live your life knowing that just enjoy yourself while you're here. You don't have to go crazy, you don't have to do everything, you don't have to change the world, you just have to be you, and be you for as long as you can. And when it comes to me dying, which eventually it will do like it does to everyone, hopefully I'll say the same thing. I think I will now, but I regret nothing about my life. I've done what I've done for these years and I don't regret any of it. And the thing is, cystic fibrosis can take my body, and it will take my body, but it'll never ever take my mind, ever. And sometimes that's more important, because to my last day, my very last day on this earth, when I'm lying in bed and I can't do anything more, I'll die when I decide to die. I won't die when cystic fibrosis wants me to. I'll die when I decide, and when it does happen, I'll be thinking about all the people that have died before me with cystic fibrosis, all the people that will die after, and I'll go down a fighter like I've done all my life. So whether that's 34, I'm giving it a few years, whether that's 50, whether that's tomorrow, I've had a good life, I've lived my life the way I've wanted to live my life, and I can't be more grateful for that. People have been killed all around the world for stupid things, never got a life, kids getting blown up and gassed and stuff like that. So not everyone gets a long life, but you've just got to live the life that you want to live, and do what makes you happy. If you do what makes you happy until you die, then when that moment comes, you've got nothing to be afraid of, because you've done what you wanted to do. You've been who you want to be. Well, that's massively important. So anyway, to answer the question, I think I'm rambling a little bit, which I usually do. I'm not scared of dying. I know it's big of me to sit here and say it when I'm on camera in my mum's kitchen, but when death does come for me and cystic fibrosis comes for me, he'll have to try fucking hard to kill me. So just to summarise on that a little bit, no, I'm not afraid of dying. Well, you don't know until you're about to die, but I don't think about it every day. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Cheers, guys.